When we're attacking top position, I kind of like to think about a metaphor where like I'm like a knife and he's like a piece of butter and the mat is kind of like bread, right? I want to focus today on the tight waist, which is going to be a situation where I get my hand around his belly and I get it in deep enough so that I can kind of torque him this way and do all sorts of breakdowns in this direction here. But you have to understand that what's going to set up these tight waist chops in this direction is going to be an initial threat of breaking him to his far hip, right? So we're going to look at kind of how to put pressure in this position and open my partner up so that if he defends properly, we get all these chops and other things we'll look at later. First thing, I'll do double thigh pries. So my hands go pinky up inside his thighs. This is going to help me put weight on his hands. So I'm going to come off to the side a bit on my partner, go double thigh pries to keep weight on the hands so he doesn't just explode up, right? Now I'm going to replace this hand with my knee. So put that pressure. I replace this hand with my knee. Now I'm free to go up here to a spiral ride. Now I'm going to be using this grip and this knee in conjunction to open up this space any way I can. If I need to knee him in the butt and get his hip forward to open up this space, I'm going to do that. If it'll be better to hold his hip in place and scrape his knee back, instead, I'll do that, right? So anything I can do to open up this space while I hold his elbow in place. Now, if you see, I kind of run out of space to keep stretching it out with this knee. So I've replaced my hand with my knee. I can now replace my knee with my other knee. And I can drive and keep opening him up and flattening him out. The threat of this, him defending this, is going to open up the rest of our offense. But first we need to get this down tight. Here, thigh pry, replace, scoot back, replace, flatten your partner out. I'm like a knife and he's like a piece of butter and the mat is kind of like bread, right? And some people are like nice, soft, warm butter. And you can just spread them out on the mat like we just did with like little to no resistance. But some people resemble like cold, hard butter or even frozen butter sometimes, right? And there's going to be different things we're going to need to use against people that are a little stronger in their position and don't let us just spread them out on our nice red piece of toast. So again, double thigh pry, I'm coming in forward, but I just feel like, stay referee, I just feel like I can't open up this angle too much more than I can. I'll get as far as I can, right? I'm always having this sort of pressure, this intention of doing what we just did. But he's strong, and I simply feel like I can't. So I'm going to turn this thigh pry into a tight waist. In order for the tight waist to be tight, I'm going to need to move my head over to this side to make this hand longer. I'm trying to wrap my hand around and have it come out kind of on the soft part of his belly here. So I dip my head, I grab deep, and now as I bring my head back, I don't let this grip slip, right? If I just go here, then there's no point in moving my head. I snack that tight waist on, and as I move back, I'm like crunching his belly and tilting him, kind of like tilting him this way, right? So there's this really strong pressure on his gut of me moving him out in this way. Now, I'm not going to hold him that way the whole time I perform the move because he might shit himself. But just so you know, that's a constant thing. Tight waist comes in deep. I roll away from it, and I'm like trying to roll him onto this shoulder. Now, I'm using this tight waist to drive weight forward. He's naturally going to brace against me. So he's strong against this vector of force. So I'm going to use this tight waist to switch the direction and either get him all the way to the shoulder, or if he's good, he will redirect his post. His post is good to absorb in this direction. If I knock him this way, he could just go all the way over, or he could redirect his post and have an elbow now that's good at absorbing pressure from this direction. Make him post to absorb this pressure. Once he's absorbing this pressure, I switch it up on him. I come around his bicep, I roll his elbow down to the ground as I try to smash his hips on the ground. So I'm in deep, I roll over the top, boom. He's gone to an elbow now. If I keep pressuring in this direction, He's changed his post. He can absorb in this direction, but now he can't absorb in this direction. So once he's posted on his elbow, I switch back to this way and fold his arm, fold him over top his arm. Now I can get cross wrists, I can hop sides and smash his hips, all sorts of things from here, but we're just focusing on that initial chop, initial off balance. Thigh pry, can't open him up. Nice deep tight waist, roll it through, make him absorb force in this direction. Change this way, and now go back to going forward. Fold him over top of his arm. I can knock his hip back, cover, all sorts of things from here. We're just focused on that chop. We just went over the outside chop, and I really like the outside chop because it leads right into one of my favorite grips, a cross wrist. So as I chop him, I don't necessarily have to do it. I can feed this hand to this wrist, and I really like working off of this cross wrist. Now we're going to look at an inside chop that's going to lead more to near wrist type of situations, right? I'm trying the initial spiral ride, but my partner's just strong. You can say referee. He's just strong, and I can't get this knee back. I can't open up the angles that I talked about us wanting to open up earlier. So I'm going to switch to this tight waist. Same thing as earlier. I'm rolling it off. Now, when we do the outside chop, there's a sense in which I can like lean my body off of him and then pull him and bring him with me. With the inside chop, to me, it feels more like I'm gluing my chest to his back and I'm like pressuring forward and shifting to the side. And that's how I get this elbow down. So they feel a little bit different fundamentally. This one feels more like pressure, shift, get that elbow down. Tight waist. I'm gonna stay inside. I'm gonna use this to glue my chest to his back, put all the weight that I can on this shoulder and consequently this hand. And now as I shift my chest, I bring that elbow to the ground and I immediately hunt for this pinky grip here. I don't want to settle for the wrist. He could just kind of punch out of this windmill, like more like out this way. Yeah, exactly. So I grab the wrist. He punches out every time. If I grab his thumb, he tries to punch out. I can even put his hand behind his back. Gives me a good opportunity to do that. But even if I don't put it behind his back, he tries to get rid of it. I feel like when I'm grabbing his pinky, it's way stronger, right? If he's flaring out and I can't reach it, I might go over the top, feed, right? So if he's very defensively sound and I can't reach it, I might have to come around, feed it to this hand, replace, and get here. I want to bring my elbow to his rotator cuff right here, and I want to use all my weight to think about pinning his shoulder to the mat through my elbow. So I've got the wrist ride, I rotate my elbow up top, just stay strong for a second, elbow up top, and I pin. So I'm completely off of him right now. Try to go back on your base. All my weight is here on his shoulder. And now I like to grab the hamstring and pull and get him off of his base. Sometimes if I go for the waist, this could work, but if he's athletic, he hops over me. Yeah, and then kind of covers me there. So the hip could be a little dangerous because I'm kind of sagging away and getting low. I prefer to go for an ankle or a hamstring. Get my tight waist, staying inside, using this grip to glue my chest to his back. And now I shift, everything stays together, weight on this hand, I shift to get the elbow down. If he's very disciplined, I might need to come around, collect. Once I collect, elbow goes up to the crook here. I don't want to be by his elbow, elbow to elbow, elbow to shoulder. Now I run his shoulder down, grab the hamstring on this side, and I can drive off this foot, knock him to his base or off of his base, and continue crushing him from top. The biggest thing here is that elbow going up to the rotator cuff, all right? So I'm here, chop, wrist, run, knock him off his base, cover, keep wrestling. All right, 1, 2, 3.